Hello, namaste, and welcome to this week's edition of Dawn's Dharma Talks. In this week's edition, we are going to talk about the power of emotion or emotions. I'm Dawn Haywood. I am your host for this wild and woolly journey into exploring more deeply some yogic lifestyle topics. Sometimes we get into philosophy, and sometimes we go with a topic of the week, something that may be trending. So I'm going to wait a moment or two for anybody out in Cyberland who is coming in to join me live. Hello, welcome, Allison. It's great to have you here. To get started, I do invite you to think about the following two questions, and they do relate to our topic of the week. Question one is, how do you currently manage your emotions? And you're welcome to reflect on these yourself. Or go ahead and drop your feedbacks if you'd like. This is a safe space, safe container for you. You can drop them in the comments. So question one again, how do you currently manage your emotions? And question two, do you feel your emotions in your body? If yes, where do you feed them? So to introduce myself, again, I'm Dawn Haywood. I am an intuitive yoga teacher who empowers women over 40 to use yoga to go from frazzled to calm. Now, you may wonder, well, how do I do that? Essentially, how I do that is by offering a safe container through my classes, group classes, private classes, and Facebook group and other sources to give you the fundamentals to start a yoga practice. Some of these tips and tricks are as easy as paying attention to your everyday activities up through more advanced full-length 30-minute classes. You can find all the tutorials and other information on my group on Facebook or on YouTube, and those links are available in the comments. So we'll go ahead and get started. The power of emotion. So when I think of emotion, I think about laughing, crying, the types of everyday activities and reactions that we have as humans on a day-to-day basis. Yet, as I've studied yoga and had the opportunity and the privilege to be in the presence of some incredible yoga teachers and experiences, I've learned that emotions are more than just a superficial reaction to life's activities. There are a number of scientific studies and books available that talk about the way emotions are stored in the body and the science behind all of that. And that's not the purpose of today's talk. The purpose of today's talk is to perhaps introduce you or remind you of the opportunity that you have in each moment to give yourself the gift of connecting to what's going on inside of you. Now, I'm not talking about deep philosophy, I'm not talking about therapy, and I really actually encourage anyone who is struggling significantly with emotions to consider therapy and possibly medication. Yet, at the same time, there are other techniques that yoga can offer to help manage your emotions, or perhaps even begin to connect to the way your emotions work inside of you. Most of you in my group, I know many of you, we've worked together for some time. Many of you really do have a very good understanding of how the emotions work in your body, and how you may feel different sensations and different, maybe even pain points in different parts of your body, depending on what may be going on in your life. So I love that all of you have that ability, and I love that you're here to share more. And I welcome any of you to go ahead and make any comments about what has worked for you, maybe some best practices of the ways that you connect to your emotions. So anyone who might be first starting out, one way you can connect to what's going on inside of you is by the act of stopping what you're doing, even if it's just for a few seconds. If I know there are times that you may be in a situation where something perhaps causes you to feel very strongly about the situation. It could be something positive, or it could be something negative. And the invitation is right now to just take a moment to think about one of those situations. And again, nothing too difficult here, just something light, maybe something that happened today that made you smile, or maybe caused you to get a little angry. I'm not going to give any examples because I want all of you to come up with your own personal experience. So take a moment and pause. I'll give you about 30 seconds to sit in silence as you think about that situation. Maybe run it back through your mind, and at the same time, as you're doing that, pay attention to what's going on in your body. Go ahead, start now. So coming back together, I'd love to hear how that experience went for you. Usually, if you are paying attention to the sensations that are created as you're replaying a scene of a situation, you may notice your shoulders begin to creep to your ears. You may notice your beat of your heart grows stronger. You may begin to maybe get some discomfort in your belly, or in your hips, or in your back. Maybe a headache can come on if you're experiencing the same situation multiple times over a long period of time. And congratulations, you have taken the first step towards connecting or reconnecting with the power of emotion. And ultimately, with the opportunity to identify emotion and how it feels in your body, you also have the opportunity to practice tools to release any adverse impact of that emotion. Now, if coming back to the happy emotions, my invitation, or the invitation when you're experiencing like a happy moment, is to sit and savor the feeling the good emotion is creating in your body. So taking a moment here, will take about 30 seconds from right now to feel a happy emotion in your body. Great. If you'd like to share your comments and your experience, that'd be great. If not, go ahead and give yourself a little happy dance, shake it off, enjoy the the this really those happy feelings, and savoring the perhaps the mobility in your body, the release of any gripping or tension that you might be feeling, in your forehead or your temples or your jaw. And the more often you can come back to these moments, both mixing an opportunity to observe happy emotions and those that aren't so pleasant, you continue to develop an understanding of the way your body holds tension related to your emotions. And in this opportunity, turning back to the perhaps less pleasant emotions, the more often you can come back and connect and release any holding, gripping, either through a yoga practice, maybe through your breath, or simply by moving, doing something that feels good in your body, gives your body and your mind the opportunity to reset. And resetting is the opening and the entry to creating a greater sense of rest and relaxation in your body. And when your body and mind have an opportunity to spend some time resting, oh my gosh, life is incredibly enhanced when you take the time to rest. It's really a matter of survival. And the more often you give yourself the opportunity to take a break, to rest, the easier it will become to respond rather than react when you feel a situation creating tension in your body, or you feel a certain type of thought or emotion bubbling up. You also may notice that your mind is much more focused, that you're able to sit with an uncomfortable emotion for a longer period of time, and to explore and do your own study as to where that emotion may be coming from. Not only where you feel in your body the reaction, physical reaction to that emotion, but also you may begin to unravel the history of why that emotion comes up in that particular situation. So I do want to close by talking a little bit about the questions, circling back to our questions. So oftentimes, we as women will hold our stress in our chest and in our hips, and that's very common. And that's not just necessarily exclusive to women, or it's really for everybody. In our lifestyle, be it working at desks, we're not moving around as much, and when you're sitting, especially if you're working at a computer or on your phone, things begin to curl in. So it is very common as you feel emotions, especially if you are, if your heart is broken or somebody hurts you deeply. Oftentimes we want to curl in, so you can feel the emotions in your chest. And when your emotions are in your head, when your head starts to, when you begin to get migraines, that can be caused by a variety of factors, and I'm not qualified nor do I want to get deep into the causes of headaches. Yet with the when you give your body the opportunity to stop, and the more often you practice that exercise of stopping and noticing and breathing and moving in a way that's safe in your body, you may begin to notice that you're able to feel a headache coming on, and you can do what you need to address that pain as it comes on. Or you may notice over time and practice that because you're releasing stress in other parts of your body through your lifestyle changes or your lifestyle and your yogic practices, that you have less frequent headaches, fewer headaches. So again, just a few things that you can do to offset tension in your chest and in your head. And I'll get to the hips too. I realized I didn't talk about the hips as well. We do store a lot of emotions in the hips, particularly certain types of trauma. And you do want to be very mindful as you're practicing any kind of hip openers, that you practice those poses in shorter periods of time, gradually working into longer holds. And one of my favorite hip openers is to take my ankle over my knee. I'm sitting in a chair, I'm putting my ankle over my knee, or even just crossing one ankle over the other, and then growing tall by squeezing your lower belly and lower back up. Take a deep breath in and just leaning forward. And you can place your forearms on your thighs here, or you can drop in your torso towards your thighs and take a forward fold. And make sure you do both sides. And the recommendation and invitation is to hold those poses for at least 3 full breaths in and out, or set a timer and do it that way. So for shoulder openers, I like to press my palms outward, making a T with my arms. Again, making sure your shoulders are stacked over your hips, engaging the lower belly and lower back together to keep that lower back supported and you're not crunching into your lower back, and breathing into your chest here. You can also flip your palms up and down and finish with some shoulder circles. And we did chest. And then with your head, self-massage can be could be a way to soothe any tension and release tension in your forehead or your jaw. You can take your fingers, your first 2 fingers, place them just in front of your ears, right at your jawline or just under your ears, and just begin to take your fingers in circles. You can massage along your jawline, maybe come down just below your ears where your jaw meets your skull here. And then if you'd like, you can move up to your temples and giving yourself a nice self-massage here. If anyone's interested in a future talk with a face massage, just send me a message and we can do that. As you are engaging in any of these practices, the invitation is to continue to breathe normally, naturally, and just really taking your time, paying attention to what you're doing, and just continuing to cultivate the connection between the emotions, your body, and the movements that you are creating. So that wraps up our Dharma talk for the week. I'm Dawn Haywood. You can find me on YouTube, and you can also find me on Facebook, and I will drop those links in the comments. And I do have a special class that I will be offering to Facebook group members only. I am going live at 5 o'clock Pacific on Saturday, February 18th. And it will be a 30-minute new moon yoga practice. It will be slow. We will be moving a little bit and doing a lot of resting. So if you need a safe container for 30 minutes to simply be in a place where you can breathe and move safely, please join us. Again, I'll drop the link to my group, Yoga to Enhance the Quality of Your Life, into the comments. I will be launching the official information about the upcoming 4-week class series, Slow Down and Bust Yoga and Bust Stress with Yoga. That's coming up on Sundays in March and early April. I'll have all those details out on Monday. If you are interested in learning more and getting a sneak peek and making sure you get that information first, please drop "and I'm interested" into the comments, and I will make sure that you get those links to register. You will have access to all 4 class videos, along with 2 special Dharma talks, educational talks, for an energy exchange of $44. So if that isn't work for you, message me and we can work something out, because I want to make sure everyone gets the information that they need. So thanks so much for being here, and I will see you all very, very soon. Be well and have a great evening.